Imagine waking up every morning with a shield around your heart, a shield so strong that no matter what storms rage around you, no matter the criticism, setbacks, or disappointments, you remain unshaken. You see, the world is full of distractions designed to steal your peace, to pull you into fear, doubt, and confusion. But what if I told you that true power begins the moment you decide to act as if nothing bothers you, not because problems disappear, but because you rise above them with a mindset rooted in purpose and unbreakable faith in your destiny. When you learn to master this posture, the posture of calm confidence, you send a message to every challenge that it has no place in your journey. You stop giving energy to what threatens to slow you down, and instead you focus on the vision God planted inside you. This is not about pretending. It's about positioning yourself as a victor before the battle even begins. And that, my friends, is where transformation happens. True power starts when you refuse to be shaken by external storms. Think about a mighty oak tree standing tall in the middle of a fierce storm. The wind howls, the rain pounds, yet the tree remains rooted, unyielding. It doesn't waste energy fighting the storm itself. It focuses on its roots, holding fast beneath the surface. In the same way, your strength isn't determined by how calm your environment is, but by how deeply anchored you are in your purpose, your vision, and your faith. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to carry an invisible armor, no matter what life throws at them? Criticism, failure, loss. They maintain their composure and move forward. What if the secret to their resilience is not that they have fewer problems, but that they have trained themselves not to be controlled by their problems? This is the essence of true power, the ability to stand firm internally when everything around you is trying to pull you down. Ask yourself, what are the storms in your life right now? Are they shaking your foundation, or are you standing firm despite them? Sometimes we expect life to be free of trouble before we feel powerful enough to step into our greatness. But the truth is, power is not about avoiding storms. It's about learning how to weather them without losing your way. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall is often not circumstance, but attitude. The oak tree does not choose the storm, but it chooses to stay rooted. So can you. Consider the ocean. The surface might be turbulent with waves crashing relentlessly. Yet beneath that chaos lies calmness, a steady depth that never wavers. Your mind and spirit must become like the deep ocean, still, steady, and untouched by the surface turmoil. When your thoughts are fixed on your purpose and your heart is anchored in your identity, the noise outside cannot disturb your peace. What if you trained yourself every day to return to that calm center no matter what? Many people let circumstances dictate their emotions. A harsh word, a setback at work, a sudden change in plans, and they lose focus. But those who have learned to act as if nothing bothers them are not denying their feelings, they're choosing not to be ruled by them. It's like a captain steering a ship through a storm. The storm is real, but the captain's eyes are fixed on the horizon. Your vision is your horizon. Are you keeping your eyes on it or getting distracted by every wave? True power also comes from understanding that your reaction is your choice. You cannot always control what happens, but you can control how you respond. When you decide to act as if nothing bothers you, you are reclaiming your power. It's a daily decision, a conscious posture that says, I will not give my power away to circumstances or opinions. This doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means not allowing reality to destroy your peace or derail your purpose. Think about the great leaders, visionaries, and changemakers in history. They were often met with opposition, ridicule, and failure, yet they persisted. Why? Because they cultivated an inner strength that kept them anchored. They acted as if nothing could stop their calling, even when everything around them suggested otherwise. What legacy will you leave if you do the same? When you learn to refuse being shaken, you develop a magnetic confidence that draws others to you. People are attracted to strength, not arrogance, but the quiet assurance that says, no matter what comes, I'm moving forward. You become a beacon of hope, a source of stability in a world full of chaos. And that kind of power is transformational, not just for you. Let me ask again, are you rooted deeply enough in your purpose to stand firm through the storms? Or are you allowing the external noise to erode your foundation? The choice is yours to make today. The oak tree does not fight the storm. It endures by holding fast. So can you. Acting unaffected is a mindset rooted in purpose and faith. Think about a skilled actor on a stage. No matter what happens behind the scenes, whether the lights flicker or the audience coughs loudly, the actor remains in character, fully committed to the role. That commitment comes not from pretending nothing is happening, but from having a clear understanding of the story they're telling and the impact they want to make. In life, this kind of commitment means standing firm in your purpose, no matter the distractions, setbacks, or negativity that surround you. Have you ever watched a basketball player take a free throw in a noisy, hostile stadium? The crowd might be screaming, the pressure intense, but the player focuses solely on the basket. They act as if nothing else exists in that moment. This focus doesn't come from ignoring reality. It comes from training their mind to be anchored in their goal. What if you could develop that same mental discipline in your own life, to act as if nothing bothers you, not because you're blind to challenges, but because your purpose is so clear and your faith so strong that nothing can shake you. When your mindset is rooted in purpose, every distraction loses its power. Purpose is like a compass that guides you through the fog. Imagine a ship navigating a stormy sea without a compass. It's tossed about, vulnerable, easily lost. But the moment the captain fixes their eyes on the compass, the ship finds direction despite the waves. Your purpose is your compass. Without it, you become vulnerable to the chaos around you. With it, you act with certainty, moving forward confidently, unaffected by temporary setbacks or criticism. Faith plays an equally important role. Faith is the belief in what you cannot yet see, the assurance that your purpose will come to fruition, even if the path is unclear. It's like planting a seed in the ground and trusting it will grow, even when you don't immediately see the sprout. Acting as if nothing bothers you requires that kind of faith. Not a faith based on sight, but on the conviction that your destiny is unfolding exactly as it should. Without faith, every obstacle feels like a roadblock. With faith, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone. Have you ever stopped to consider how often your emotions are tied to circumstances rather than convictions? When a negative comment is made or plans don't go as expected, do you feel your confidence waver? The truth is, when your mindset is anchored in purpose and faith, those moments don't define you. You see them as part of the journey, not the destination. This shift in perspective is powerful because it changes the way you respond. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond strategically. Instead of being disturbed, you remain composed. Think about great athletes again. They don't just train their bodies, they train their minds. They practice visualization and mental rehearsal so that when game day comes, they are mentally prepared to block out distractions and perform at their best. What if you treated your mind the same way? What if you consistently practiced acting as if nothing bothers you? By reminding yourself daily of your purpose and reaffirming your faith in your journey. This mindset also protects your energy. When you let every small irritation or criticism disturb you, you give away your power. Energy wasted on frustration, doubt, or anger is energy taken away from your growth and progress. Acting unaffected is a way of conserving your strength, reserving it for what truly matters, advancing toward your purpose. How much more could you accomplish if you refuse to allow anything outside your control to drain your energy? The people who inspire us most are those who have mastered this mindset. They don't pretend life is easy. They simply refuse to be controlled by the difficulties. Instead, they rise above, anchored by a deep sense of why they are here and who they are becoming. Their faith in themselves and their purpose is unshakable, and that gives them a power that no external circumstance can touch. So, what is your purpose today? How strong is your faith in the unseen promises of your future? When you root your mindset in these truths, you develop an inner fortress, an unshakable strength that allows you to act as if nothing bothers you, no matter what happens around you. Remember, the clarity of your purpose, combined with the strength of your faith, creates a mindset that is not easily disturbed, and that is where true power begins. Challenges lose control when you withhold your energy from them. Imagine a fire that can only keep burning as long as it has fuel. Take away the wood, the paper, the oxygen, and the fire eventually die out. Your attention, your emotions, your energy, these are the fuel that challenges need to grow bigger and stronger. But when you refuse to feed them, when you consciously decide not to give them space in your mind or time in your day, those challenges begin to shrink. Have you noticed how some people seem to grow stronger in adversity while others crumble? The difference often lies not in the nature of the challenge, but in how much energy they allow the challenge to consume. Think of a garden overtaken by weeds. If you focus on watering and nurturing the flowers, giving the weeds your attention, they grow out of control. But when you shift your energy back to cultivating what is good and valuable, the weeds lose their hold. What part of your life is currently being overrun by these weeds of doubt, fear, or negativity because you have given them too much of your energy? Every problem or negative circumstance you face is like a demand for your energy and focus. It calls loudly, seeking your worry, your anxiety, your frustration. But energy is a limited resource. Imagine a battery powering your life. Each thought, each emotion, each reaction uses that energy. When you give your energy to problems, you drain your battery faster. When you redirect your energy toward your purpose, your goals, your faith, your battery lasts longer and powers greater things. Which will you choose to feed today? Consider the story of a boxer in the ring. The opponent throws punches, but the champion learns to block and avoid them, conserving energy for the right moments to strike. The champion doesn't get distracted by every jab. Instead, they stay focused on the strategy. Your challenges are like those jabs. Real, sometimes painful, but only dangerous if you give them too much of your attention. How often do you find yourself distracted or exhausted because you've allowed minor issues to consume your thoughts and energy? It's also important to understand that not every battle deserves your full strength. Imagine you have 10 battles to fight in a day, but only enough energy to fight 2. Well, if you waste your energy on battles that don't matter or battles you cannot win, you weaken yourself for the fights that truly matter. Challenges lose control when you are selective about what you engage with. Ask yourself, are you fighting every little annoyance and difficulty, or are you conserving your energy for what really moves you forward? Emotional energy is especially powerful. When you react with anger, frustration, or fear, you give those emotions control over your life. But when you respond with calm and measured thought, you reclaim your power. This doesn't mean you ignore problems or pretend they don't exist. It means you decide how much influence they will have over you. Like a river flowing around a rock, you can't stop the rock from being there, but you can control how you navigate around it. Think about a time when you faced a challenge, but chose not to let it consume you. Maybe it was a difficult conversation, a setback at work, or a personal disappointment. How did your energy shift when you refused to let the challenge control your emotions? That shift is a demonstration of power. The challenge was still there, but it lost control because you withheld the fuel it needed to grow. What if you made this a daily practice, consciously deciding what gets your energy and what doesn't? What if you reminded yourself every morning that you hold the power to decide what controls your mind and heart? This mindset turns you from a victim of circumstance into a master of your own experience. Challenges will come, but they do not have to define you or dictate your progress. When you withhold your energy from what threatens to pull you down, you create space for growth, for focus, and for peace. Like a garden nurtured by a wise gardener, your life flourishes when your energy is directed toward what builds you up, not what tears you down. Remember, challenges lose control when you refuse to feed them your energy, and that is the beginning of your freedom. Calm confidence sends a clear message. You are a victor. There is a powerful biblical principle that reminds us, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. This command is not just about bravery in the face of visible enemies. It is a call to cultivate an inner strength that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. When you carry yourself with calm confidence, you embody that principle. You show the world, and more importantly, you remind yourself that you are not defined by fear or failure, but by the strength rooted in your identity and purpose. Think about a lighthouse standing tall on a rocky shore during a raging storm. The waves crash violently, the winds howl, but the lighthouse does not panic or collapse. Instead, it shines its light steadily, guiding ships safely through the darkness. Your calm confidence is like that lighthouse. It sends a message not only to those watching, but also to yourself, that no matter what is happening around you, you are anchored, you are sure, and you are victorious. What storms are raging around you today, and how brightly is your light shining through them? Imagine a skilled surgeon in the operating room. Despite the tension, the pressure, and the critical nature of the situation, the surgeon's hands remain steady, their mind focused. Panic or doubt in that moment would be dangerous. The calm confidence they exhibit assures the entire team, setting the tone for success. Your life's challenges demand the same steadiness, not because you are perfect, but because you understand that your confidence is a message to yourself and others. I will not be moved. I am a victor. How often do you find your confidence shaken by temporary setbacks? And how would your life change if you chose steadiness instead? Calm confidence is not arrogance or denial of difficulties. It's a deliberate choice to face life's realities without surrendering to fear or discouragement. It is the quiet assurance that, regardless of the outcome, you are more than your circumstances. The biblical command to be strong and courageous invites you to lean into that assurance daily. When you do, you develop an unshakable posture that speaks louder than words. People notice it, they are drawn to it. It's a magnetic quality that sets victors apart from victims. Consider the story of David facing Goliath. Before the battle, David did not boast about his strength or weapons. Instead, he spoke with calm confidence, rooted in faith. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear, will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine. 1 Samuel 17:37. His confidence was not in himself, but in the greater purpose and power guiding him. This calm assurance unsettled his opponent and inspired his own people. What giants are you facing today? And where is your confidence rooted? When you embody calm confidence, you send a clear message to every challenge. You are not intimidated, you are not distracted, and you will not be defeated. This message has power. It disarms fear, silences doubt, and shifts the energy in the room. People respond differently when they see someone who is centered and sure. It changes conversations, decisions, and outcomes. How would your relationships and opportunities change if you consistently projected calm confidence? Life will always bring trials, but your response is your choice. By choosing calm confidence, you reclaim your power and remind yourself that you are on the path of victory. Like the lighthouse, the surgeon, or David, your steady presence signals to the world that you are anchored in something greater than momentary trouble. This is not just about surviving, it's about thriving as a victor who refuses to be shaken. Ask yourself, what does my calmness say about me? Does it reflect a heart anchored in faith and purpose, or does it reveal uncertainty and fear? How can you strengthen your confidence today to send a message of victory to yourself and those around you? Your calm confidence is more than an attitude. It is a declaration. It is a silent but powerful message. You are a victor. Transformation begins by positioning yourself ahead of the battle. There's a profound biblical principle found in the story of Nehemiah rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. Before any construction began, Nehemiah carefully surveyed the land, understood the threats, and strategically planned where each section should go. He didn't wait until the walls were breached to react. Instead, he positioned himself and his people ahead of the attack, prepared and intentional. This principle teaches us that true transformation and victory start long before the battle actually hits, when you take your place intentionally with eyes fixed on the outcome you desire. Imagine a skilled chess player who thinks several moves ahead. They don't just react to what's happening on the board right now. They anticipate their opponent's moves, plan their own strategy, and position their pieces to control the game. Life works the same way. If you wait to respond only after challenges hit, you will always be playing catch-up. But when you position yourself ahead of the battle by preparing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you gain control. Begin the fight from a place of strength, not desperation. What steps are you taking today to position yourself ahead of the challenges you face tomorrow? Think about an Olympic sprinter before the race. They don't start running only when the gun fires. They get into position, steady their breath, focus their mind, and prepare every muscle for action. That preparation, that positioning is where the race is often won or lost. You must approach your life with that same mindset, ready, steady, and positioned for victory. How often do you find yourself reacting too late because you weren't prepared? How would your life change if you decided now to take your place ahead of every battle? Transformation is not random or accidental, it's intentional. Like Nehemiah, who faced opposition but never lost sight of his mission, you must put yourself where you can see the obstacles before they reach you. This might mean setting boundaries, developing your skills, or strengthening your faith. It means building your inner walls so you don't have to rebuild your life after every storm. Are you currently proactive about your growth and protection, or do you wait until problems force you to react? There's also a spiritual dimension to this positioning. The Apostle Paul encouraged believers to put on the full armor of God so they could stand firm against challenges. Ephesians 6:11. This armor is not just a metaphor. It's a call to prepare yourself spiritually before the fight comes. When you daily put on your armor, truth, righteousness, faith, and the word, you position yourself ahead of every attack. Your transformation begins not in the heat of battle, but in the quiet moments of preparation and discipline. Consider the story of a firefighter responding to a blaze. They don't just rush in blindly. They assess the situation, put on protective gear, plan an approach, and then act decisively. Their success depends on their preparation and positioning before entering the danger zone. Life's battles require the same approach. If you run in unprepared, you risk defeat. But if you take time to prepare, position yourself, and anticipate challenges, you transform from a reactive victim into a victorious warrior. What armor do you need to put on today to face your battles confidently? Positioning yourself ahead of the battle also shifts your mindset from victimhood to ownership. When you are proactive, you take control of your story. You stop waiting for life to happen to you and start making life happen through you. This is the essence of transformation, moving from reacting to responding, from surviving to thriving. Ask yourself, am I positioning myself to win, or am I waiting for life to dictate my outcome? True transformation begins in the place of preparation and intentionality. It's the small daily decisions, choosing faith over fear, purpose over distraction, discipline over complacency, that position you ahead of the battle. Like Nehemiah rebuilding those walls, you can protect and build your life so challenges don't break you, but instead become opportunities for growth. Where are you placing yourself today? Are you standing ahead of your challenges with readiness and faith, or are you waiting to react after the damage is done? The power to transform your life lies in choosing to position yourself ahead of every battle. Transformation begins by positioning yourself ahead of the battle, and that choice sets you on the path to victory. As we reflect on these truths, remember that true power is not found in the absence of storms, but in your ability to stand firm through them. When you root your mindset in purpose and faith, withhold your energy from what threatens your peace, carry yourself with calm confidence, and position yourself ahead of every challenge, you step into the life of a victor, unshaken, unstoppable, and destined for greatness. May you walk forward today with this unshakable strength, knowing that no external force can dictate your destiny. Thank you for your time and openness to receive this message. I wish you courage, wisdom, and abundant blessings as you embrace your power and purpose. Good luck on your journey to becoming the unshakable person you were created to be.